Well, we talked to the Defo Minister this week about the scallop fishing that was going on and, of course, the impact it's having around Manx coastal waters, especially other boats coming in. Well, with me is Robert, who's joined me from Northern Ireland, who saw our piece, and he's joining us on the Skype link. Thank you, Robert. You've got some points you wanted to make about this interview. What was wrong, or what did you like, or what is the situation?
Well, the situation is I fish from Portugal and I have family that lives in Ireland. Now, I don't know what's actually going on with the Manx government. So I don't. There's a few boats going out of Kilkenny, a few boats going out of Hourglass, and there has been not one boat that got a Manx territorial license for king scallops. Now, we've got our license which permits us to fish in Manx territorial waters for prawns. They're not worried about that. And I bought my license as a 2-year deal that I got because I have a permit on my British license because the boat's 11 metres. I have to have an additional scallop entitlement, as they call them, on the boat to allow me to scallop in my own waters and let me scallop round the country. If I go to Ireland or Scotland, I have to have this permit on where under 10 boats, under 10 fishing vessels don't have to have it. But Mr. Boot said on your bit of a documentary you done there about the scallops being heavily fished last year. He was right. It was the boats came from everywhere. The ones that made the grade for getting their scallop entitlements, to permit them to fish in the Manx waters. I understand what the Manx government's doing. They're doing it to help their boats and sustain the fishing, which is a good thing, Paul. But it seems to be the Manx government is pushing the small boats out to let the big boats in. They're going on about grandfather rights, and there's all these grandfather rights and stuff. And on one, it stipulates on their Manx license that if you're over 221 kilowatts horsepower of an engine, they have a limit on it of that 221 kilowatts. And some of them boats was at the Isleman last year has returned to the Isleman this year. And Paul, some of them are sitting. Some of them big automators are sitting with 600 kilowatts horsepower in them.
So you'd like to see more smaller boats being allowed to fish and less of the larger ones?
Paul, they're shouting about cutting fishing effort. So the Master Bits in your wee documentary that you done, they had a quota, a 40 bag limit on it on the 2016-2017 scallop season. They did, but this wasn't implemented I'm nearly sure it was either the last week of November to the first week of December. I'm not just sure. But that wasn't the 40 bag limit per day per boat wasn't implemented until is the bit that they call it the targets area, as we call it, and everybody else calls it the targets area. They opened this big box and the Manx government had it shut. They had it shut for a few years, and the scientists told the government if they don't let the boats in to fish it, the area will die. So they let the boats fish, and they let the boats in at the fish, Paul. So they hammered it. It was It was right up. It was right. The target's area was decimated in 2 weeks.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? These quotas are trying to protect the stock.
Yeah, the thing about it is, he said he had it on last year, but it wasn't implemented at the end of November, the start of December, when the area was decimated by these big massive boats. And my plight is, why kick all the wee boats that was Paul, I'm a free size Scallop boat, that's all I can told goes to Manx, and there's 3 or 4 other wee boats in Portugal that can only tow free aside. They're shooting about sustaining the fishery, fishing, and the animal. But it just seems to be what a 7-a-side boat would catch in one day. I wouldn't catch it for 3 or 4 days. They have a 30-bag limit on it this year. It would take me 3 days to catch that, depending on how thick the scallops are on the ground.
Okay, let's just answer a few things here, though. The Isle of Man, has preserved its stocks, and it appears that other places around the British Isles, I don't know about where you are in Northern Ireland, they just haven't looked after their fisheries to the same degree, and therefore that's why it's become such a great place to come and fish, because the stocks are good, although you are now limited on the actual catches a lot more than in the past, for instance.
Yeah, but it's just, at the end of the day, there's fellas on with my family are actually Manx men, and there's one of the big automators turned around and said 30 bags a day wouldn't do him. Like, I've been watching them since they started. The big automators are getting their 30 bags a day, then get back outside the 12 mile to fish the rest of the day, right through the night, and back in to the morning where they can go back in the next morning, get their 30 bags and go back out. And they're just going in and out and in and out. But it just seems to be like there's one of the boats, there's a couple of boats in Portugal missed it by one day. But I don't know, honestly, Paul, it's happened to everybody,
Yeah, but just to finish with, at the end of the day, you didn't get a license and you're upset about that, but there are certainly, over 60 vessels were reported out the other day, so there's still a lot of licenses out there.
But they're all big boats. They're all big. I would say the smallest boat that's fishing the target's area now is no less than 5-a-side.
Right. And you actually got turned down for the license then, did you, as such?
I got turned down because I missed a day. I got missed it for 20 days because I couldn't fish the whaler them big boats fish. So I can't. Some of them big boats are 20 metres, and like I'm only a wee 11-metre boat, and I can't. I missed it. That's what it was basically down to. I missed 20 days because due to a poor whaler, which I couldn't fish.
Is it to get those scallops out of the water? I mean, everyone says it is a great fish because they're so good. The stocks are good and the quality of the scallops is good. You agree with that?
Yeah, yeah. The Isle of Man seems to have a good fishery for everything. And I'm just, Paul, if I can get 10 bags a day to pay my boat every day, if I can go out to the Isle of Man and get 10 bags a day, I'm happy. I'm not greedy. I've myself have a boat to pay.
And would you bring those scallops into the Isle of Man for processing, or would you take them back to Northern Ireland if you had a licence?
I've landed in Ireland. The last time I fished in Isle of Man, I landed at the Ballykeely from Bale. And I told it doesn't really pay us to run back and forward. The time you burn days on time lost, if the Isle of Man government were to let me in and says there's a stipulation in this, you can come to Isle of Man, but you have to land your scallops in Isle of Man, I'll land them. It doesn't matter where it was. It doesn't matter where I land my stuff.
Okay.
I own the boat myself, along with my father. And we're not owned by any company. I land my stuff to Rockabilly and Northern Ireland. Like, they don't tell us where to land, they don't tell us what to do, we do what we want. And if the man let us in, I'll certainly land. Scallop's the Billy again he's anything I wanted and anything I needed. The folk of the Isle of Man they're nice people to work with. I just want to make a pay for my boat, the pay my boat mortgage, and pay the couple of crew men I have.